Mesothelioma legal help allows asbestos victims to pursue financial compensation for medical treatments, lost wages, and other expenses. Compensation can be accessed through mesothelioma lawsuits, asbestos trust fund claims, VA benefits, and more. Experienced mesothelioma lawyers can provide mesothelioma legal help so that victims can pursue the compensation and justice they may deserve. As of 2020, mesothelioma cancer victims have two primary legal options they can access to receive final compensation. Victims often seek out mesothelioma legal help from experienced lawyers and law firms. With their help, victims can file lawsuits or asbestos trust fund claims and possibly receive financial compensation. Mesothelioma lawyers and law firms can also help victims learn about other ways to receive compensation as well. Since victims may be able to access more than one type of compensation, it is very important for them to seek mesothelioma legal help. Experienced lawyers and law firms will do their best to get patients the highest amount of financial compensation possible. Receiving money from an asbestos trust fund is the most common type of mesothelioma legal help. Asbestos trust funds award an average of 180,000 US dollars to mesothelioma victims, though this number varies by trust according to the United States Department of Justice. Mesothelioma lawsuits typically reach out of court settlements with an average value of $1 million, according to recent reports. Approximately 5% of mesothelioma lawsuits go to trial, where a judge or jury decide the value of the case, according to the DOJ. Trials are usually avoided since they add time, expenses, and extra risk to a mesothelioma lawsuit. Help with the mesothelioma legal process allows veterans to file for mesothelioma related VA benefits no matter when they served, as long as their mesothelioma stems from asbestos exposure while they served. With mesothelioma legal help, victims may be able to afford necessary yet highly expensive medical bills. Since mesothelioma is so rare, its treatments are extremely specific and hard to afford. Final compensation can help pay for medical treatments, including surgery, chemotherapy, and radiation. Lost wages if the affected person can no longer work. Travel costs if the victim needs to travel to seek treatment, and other expenses. While the amount of money can vary with each case, some have earned millions of dollars in compensation. Mesothelioma legal help can also hold the manufacturers of asbestos containing products accountable for their actions. Virtually the entire asbestos industry knew the risks of asbestos but did nothing about it. Innocent people now pay with their lives for the greed of these companies. According to the International Journal of Occupational and Environmental Health, approximately 3,000 people are diagnosed with mesothelioma every year, and most die within 5 years after diagnosis. A lawsuit or legal claim send a message these manufacturers cannot get away with the harm they caused. For all of these reasons, it is crucial to seek mesothelioma legal help shortly after diagnosis, and as taking legal action sooner rather than later may reduce the amount of time someone has to wait to receive compensation. A common form of mesothelioma legal help is an asbestos trust fund. Major companies established asbestos trust funds as part of bankruptcy deals after they faced an unprecedented amount of lawsuits. After these trust funds were established, victims could no longer file lawsuits against these companies. Mesothelioma patients can work with a lawyer to file a claim with the trust fund. This claim outlines how, when, and where the victim was exposed to asbestos and how this caused them to develop mesothelioma. The victim's lawyer sends the claim to the Board of Trustees. The Board of Trustees review the claim and decide whether or not it is valid. Provided that the claim is not rejected by the board, victims can expect to be financially compensated. That being said, trust funds cannot always pay the amount of money they owe to victims in full. Trust funds are designed to pay people who currently suffer from mesothelioma as well as those who may develop it in the future. As a result, trusts may only pay out a percentage of what is actually owed so they can pay other victims later on. As of 2020, over 60 companies have active asbestos trust funds.